candidates for just a couple of minutes each, 3 to 4 minutes each. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking and introducing you all because I want you to tell us who you are and why this issue is so important in Missouri and in your campaign and why you chose to become a gun sense candidate. I'm going to invite Crystal Quade to join us first. Crystal, if you could come off mute. Excellent. Thank you. Crystal, welcome. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for the opportunity to introduce myself to all of you that I haven't had the chance to meet yet. So my name is Crystal Quade, and I am currently the Democratic leader in the Missouri House of Representatives, elected out of Springfield, Missouri. For those who don't know, I've been serving in the State House for the last 8 years, 6 of those as the Democratic leader, and have been a gun sense candidate every time. So thank you guys so much for that. So I grew up in rural Southwest Missouri, out in Webster County, if anybody's familiar with that. I come from a real working class family. My mom is a waitress. In fact, she's still a waitress today. My stepfather drove almost an hour to get to the factory every day. I'm the very first in my family to graduate from high school. And then I worked my way through Missouri State University to become a social worker. And you guys know more than most when it comes to what it means to go to Jefferson City. And I decided as a social work student that I needed to learn more about government because everything I wanted to do to help people was dictated by policy. And so I did my internship in Jeff City. And as you guys know, the first time I went there, I was so excited to work in this beautiful place and learn from all these amazing people. And then I got there and I was really awakened with what I saw. And it really was hearing these folks talk about regular working class families like mine with such disgust and disdain and lack of understanding that made me want to jump into this work. So I don't have a lot of time to talk to you all, but I will tell you that after graduation, I got to work for U.S. Senator Claire McCaskill. After Obama became president, I worked on the campaign team, becoming a community organizer, working in rural Southwest Missouri, teaching folks about why it was important to get engaged in their local government. And then after that, went back home, became a social worker, started my family. And then in 2016, ran for the most competitive House seat in the whole state and became the only elected Democrat in the whole southern half of Missouri. In my time in Jefferson City, of course, we have been fighting back against some really disastrous legislation, and you guys at Moms know firsthand what that means. And beyond the issues that you all deeply care about, you know, of course, we've had the most extreme abortion ban in the country. We have the lowest paid teachers in the country, lowest paid state employees. Our education funding is one of the last in the country. We've lost 18 rural hospitals in the last 10 years. You know, the list goes on and on. And I wanted to jump into this race for governor because I know that we deserve better than what we've had. I am a mom of 3. I want my state to be a state that my kids want to stay in, and a state that they could raise their family in and trust their schools, and a state that they can plan their own family on their own terms, and if they want to have one at all, and that their state government lives up to the promises that it gives its citizens. You guys know that we have been in the news a lot lately for a lot of really terrible things, but I want Missouri to be a state that we are leading the nation in things that we all deeply care about. So we do have a primary coming up on August 6th. Really excited to see what happens here and ready to see which person on the other side of the aisle with the flamethrower or whatever commercial they give us is who we end up running against, because I'm ready to bring back some sanity to our state. And the last thing I'll say is I hope you guys understand how deeply important November is in our state this year. Not only do we have the opportunity to take reproductive health care back, we can get earned sick leave done, we can raise the minimum wage, and we are only 3 seats away in the Missouri House and 2 in the state Senate from breaking the Republican supermajority. And that means when I'm governor, we can veto the next Second Amendment Preservation Act that they try to give us, and we can actually uphold that veto, and we can stop the bleeding in our state and really start focusing on the things that matter. So I really appreciate your guys' time. I'll drop my information in the chat. Wish I could stay and hang out with you guys the rest of the hour, but we've got another Zoom after this. But I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys. I hope you understand how deeply meaningful it is to the Democrats and folks who are with us on this issue. When we walk out into the hallways in Jefferson City and there are 500 of you walking the halls, it gives us so much motivation to continue this fight. And we really could not continue to do this without you. So we deeply appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Crystal, so much. There are some questions in the chat if you have a minute to stay, but
Yeah.
I know you're racing off to another event. You have a tight schedule tonight. I just want to thank you again for being with us at the top of the hour. And welcome to Eric Morrison to join us next. If you could bring yourself off mute, we'd love to share your story with our supporters. And sorry, I got a lot going on my screen here. Oh, there you are. Great. There you are. Welcome. Welcome, Eric.
Well, good evening. Good evening, everyone. And thank you so much for having me this evening to be a part of this awesome group of individuals. Uh, um, Eric Morrison, I am a senior pastor of Kingdom Word Ministries. I've been pastoring for about 23 years now. I'm into my 23rd year. Been in ministry for 30 years now, and married 36 years. 3 children and 5 grandchildren, and been engaged in our community civically, spiritually, physically, mentally, all the time that I have been there. This topic and where I'm at right now with you guys has been something that, in the inner cities of most of our cities, you'll find a lot of violent crime that is taking place. I just happen to be one, and I know our time is limited, one that participated on one side of the line of being a menace to society before giving my life to the Lord Jesus Christ. So I've seen both sides of how the act of violence takes place, why it takes place, who are some of your key people that you can kind of monitor to make sure that things are not escalating any further. I'm a father that have been woke up early in the morning because of my son being shot, my youngest daughter being shot. So when we start talking about this area of gun control and gun sense, I feel so indebted to try to do everything I can to help not only our community, our city, our county, but this state and this country. So I was so blessed by the administration of our campaign when they told me that I was invited to this platform this evening. So I'm looking forward to it, win or lose, to stay in the fight, to reduce the violent crime, and to bring some common sense to having our amendment, Second Amendment, operating properly in this country and in our state.
Oh, Eric, thank you so much. I so appreciate you joining us and sharing your own reason for running and talking with us on this issue. And I'm so sorry for the ways that this issue has touched your family personally. I just want to say thank you for sharing that with us. You honor us with your words and your visit tonight. And I apologize. It's our rules, but I do want to apologize that we don't have more time to visit with you this evening. We try to be good stewards of the rules in our chapter. I do want to point out, though, as we thank our guests, thank you, Eric, for that. Everyone, join me in thanking Crystal and Eric. But I want to point out, this is a crowded primary for governor. There are candidates on the ballot who are not gun sense candidates. These are the 2 gun sense candidates for governor in the state of Missouri. And I just want to thank you both for taking the time to prioritize and making the commitment to govern with gun safety in mind. So thank you.